Hallöchen, ihr Lieben, und herzlich willkommen zum heutigen Stanley Parable Stream. Wir haben ja noch wahrscheinlich einiges offen. Ich bin mit einem heißen Kaffee ausgerüstet und ich hoffe wie immer, dass die Klimaanlage im Hintergrund nicht zu sehr stört. Gerade läuft sie, glaube ich, nicht, aber die wird immer mal wieder aufdrehen. Das ist sonst anders nicht mehr auszuhalten. Hier staut sich immer mehr auf die Wärme. Ach ja, Uhrzeit einstellen. Wir haben es, warte. PM und 31. Ah, jetzt 32. Zack. Keine Ahnung, warum ich das mache. Ah, 2:32 Uhr. Deine Lieblings... Oh, stimmt. Ich hätte meine Lieblingsuhrzeit. Habe ich eine Lieblingsuhrzeit? Ich habe gar keine Lieblingsuhrzeit. Oder konntest du einfach nicht anders, als mir wieder die korrekte Zeit zu geben? Oh ja. Ich weiß ja schließlich, wie gern du die korrekte Uhrzeit einstellst. Okay, jetzt interessiert es mich, wie präzise 2:32 Uhr ist. Benutzen wir einen weiteren Regler, um es herauszufinden. Wie präzise ist es? Nach wie vor sehr präzise. Weißt du, du sollst wissen, dass ich ungeachtet der Präzision der Uhrzeit großen Spaß am Anpassen dieser Einstellungen habe. Ich habe das Gefühl, mehr über dich zu erfahren und darüber, wie du Einstellungen vornimmst. Es ist gut, Daten zu sammeln. Ich wünschte, wir hätten mehr Regler, aber wir sind alle Regler durchgegangen, die ich habe. Vielleicht kann ich ein paar neue Slider erfinden, um neue Daten über dich zu sammeln? Sollte nicht schwer sein. Ja, lass mich ein paar neue auftreiben. Sollte fertig sein, wenn du das nächste Mal das Spiel startest. Okay, wir dürfen das Spiel also nicht beenden. Punkt. Nicht, dass ich glaube, dass ich das schaffe. Ah, dann geht's mal los. Wobei, eigentlich ging's ja schon los, wenn man so will.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Ja.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Ja, das ist Stanley noch nie passiert, außer die ersten 2 Male, die wir jetzt schon das Spiel angefangen haben, gespielt
All
haben.
of his co-workers were gone.
New content.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New Content. The new Content. Ich kann leider nichts mit dem Schild machen.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Ja, bitte. Ich bin sehr gespannt, es zu sehen. Zeig mir den neuen Content. Wieso gehen eigentlich... So gesehen gehen die Schienen ja da weiter. Wieso eigentlich? Schon wieder dieser Fahrstuhl. Na dann.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh. Ist das ein Ding? 4, 2, 7.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Sehr gerne. The end is never the end. Again. Kann ich nicht lesen, schade. Hier zwitschern Vögel, aber ich darf hier nicht lang. Diese Schale ist anders. Was ist das? Testing 2 printers at the same time. Aha. Das geht? Oh mein Gott. Investor Showcase. Welcome.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Ah, was haben wir hier? Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us, you and I. Also es ist ein bisschen gruselig, selbst öffnende Türen. Oh, ja, das ist New Mug. Stimmt, das ist eine neue Tasse. Die habe ich vorher noch nicht gesehen. Time to wake up. Ist auch eine neue Tasse. Die darf ich nicht sehen, weil ich nicht auf die Couch kann. Never underestimate coffee enjoyer who left their cup by a leather sofa that faces a blurry room. Ja, ist zwar nicht meine Tasse, aber ich stimme zu. Oh, was haben wir denn hier so Schönes, hä? No, ich kann es nicht richtig sehen. Ich wünschte, ich könnte reinzoomen. Aber das kann ich nicht, dann könnte ich es lesen. New Content is out. New Content Part 2 is in. Old Busted. New Hotness. Aha. Boring sections of the chart. Cool red section of the chart. Wo sie recht haben. They're back. 2 doors. More TSP, better TSP. Win-win. The color red. Die haben es mit Rot, hä? New Mark. Oh nein, eine zweite Hirnhälfte. Der Farn. Ich glaube, wir werden nie erfahren, was so besonders am Fahren war. Verschiedene Schriftarten fürs Logo. Also jetzt mal ernsthaft, ist das ein Ding? Ich würde mich ja freuen. 2? Mit 2 Stanleys? Oh Gott. Das wiederum war schrecklich.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Wer hat den roten Marker genommen? Ich! Halt, da ist eine Tür gewesen. Nicht. Okay. Crap, the ultimate sequel. Okay. Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, in Klammern City, Divinity, Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar, Dark Souls 2. 2, 2, 2, 2. 2. The prequel to the Stanley Parable. 2 is the sequel to the Stanley Parable. Ist das prequel... Oh Gott. 2. 2. This way to the show floor. Da ist sehr dunkel. New features. New content. Aber hier zeigt gar keiner was. Und was ist das mit dem Bus hier? Okay. Wo wird mir denn der neue Content gezeigt? Etwa hier?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
No! Ich will nicht! Das setzt mich so unter Druck. Ich darf nicht mal gehen. The Stanley Parable 2. Das ist kein Fahren, das ist uncool. Hear your name in the game. Okay. Name. Everyone's got one. Hear yours today. New content. No jumps remaining player tiers. 2. Diese 2 sieht ein bisschen aus wie die Büroklammer aus Word damals. Enjoy new features. Cold drinks. Taste the sequel. Okay, lassen wir uns mal unseren Namen sagen. Erklär mir mal was hierzu.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Name. It's yours. Der Weg zum perfekten Knopf. Zu groß, zu klein. Genau richtig. Der Knopf, der den Namen des Spielers sagt, der das Spiel gerade spielt. Naja. Ich bin ja mal gespannt. Ich glaube eher nicht, aber gut. Vielleicht den Steam-Namen? Name.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Ich glaube nicht
I
Jim.
want you to imagine yourself living as Jim. Sleeping and waking as Jim. Falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim. Seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim. And as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Oh ja.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Soll ich wirklich?
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
Ja.
Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Und wenn nicht?
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away.
Jim.
Otherwise,
Nein.
soon
Jim.
you'll start to
Jim.
lose all
Jim.
sense of
Jim.
who you actually
Jim.
are.
Jim.
Nein! Aber wer bin ich jetzt? Wenn ich nicht Jim bin und nicht ich bin, wer bin ich dann? Dann bin ich wohl wieder Stanley. Na toll. Haben wir hier? Nein. Nein, da ist auch noch eine Tür. Waren oben Türen? Keine Ahnung. Ich gehe jetzt nicht. Ja, da waren Türen. Egal. War ja irgendwie klar. Oh, ist das der Baum aus dem Zeitrafferraum? Also mit dem Skip-Button?
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable too. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Ja. Aber wer weiß, wie viele Jims das Spiel wirklich spielen. Aber vielleicht trauen sich ja auch ein paar Tims, die schlecht hören. Wo geht's hier lang? Epilog.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the... well, we'll figure that out later.
Achso, es gibt gar keinen. Okay, es gibt keinen Epilog. Free, new and easy achievement. Get it here. Ich will das gratis Achievement. Gratis Erfolg. Erfolg ist immer gut. Da. Er hält schon einen Pokal. Ja, den will ich auch. Free Achievement. Get yours right now. Hol dir jetzt eins. Zieh den Hebel. Aber den richtigen Hebel, Gronk. Erhalte dein Achievement. Nichts weiter, was du tun musst. Es funktioniert. Hol dir jetzt eins.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Test Achievement unachieved.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Ja, aber... Gib mir mein Achievement. Ich bin hergekommen, weil mir ein gratis Achievement versprochen wurde. Und jetzt? Meh. Jetzt bin ich unzufrieden. Scheiß Spiel. Sofort wieder ausmachen und zurückgeben kann ich es nicht mehr. Schade. Nicht.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
The Jump Circle. Und ich habe sogar noch einen Sprung über. Ja! Stimmt, ich habe einen übergelassen.
You know what, Stanley? I actually think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to that for the sequel.
Mhm. Ich darf nicht mehr springen, schade. Da war nur noch ein Sprung. No jumps remaining, player tears. Ich fülle nur mal eben den Becher. Kein gratis Achievement. Ich darf nicht springen. Was ist das da oben? Wer ist die Frau? Ist das überhaupt eine Frau? Oder ist das ein Mann mit Zopf? Wir wissen es nicht. Okay, Collectibles. Ihr habt mich bei Collectibles. Can you find them? Ich weiß nicht. Collect them all. Wer ist bei Pokémon?
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Das sieht cool und gruselig zugleich aus, vor allem mit der Musik dazu. Ist das ein Mini-Stanley? Ich würde ihn kaufen. Passt zwar nicht in die Sammlung, aber ist ja egal. Ich habe eine Klingel gehört. Das Gute ist, ich bin nicht allein.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Aber wirklich, das ist so... Das ist einfach so kacke. Ich mag das auch nicht. Da sammelt man extra alles und wird dafür auch noch belohnt. Lower Level, you are here. So, was haben wir denn? Jump Circle, da waren wir schon. This Map. Free Achievement, da waren wir schon. Knopf, der deinen Namen sagt, da waren wir schon. Merch? Merch. Infinite Hole! Merch, okay. Settings World Champion. Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. Office Decorations. Epilog waren wir auch schon. Collectibles waren wir schon. Okay, Merch sind nicht Collectibles. Infinite Hole, Exit. Infinite Hole! It won't end. Da ist eine Tür. Wo führt die Tür hin? Warte. No, please, no screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Oh, ich kenne die Stiefnichte nicht, aber ist doch egal.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Hoffentlich geht's dir irgendwann mal wieder gut. Okay, waren die vorher schon auf dem Bild? Nein, definitiv nicht.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Ja, oh, der Merch! Stühle, 0344. 2. Merch! Ich kann nicht. Ich will. Mano! The end is never the end again. This T-Shirt, the best new feature. Ich glaube aber auch. I saw the new content. The button that says Gym. Aha, statt da nicht. You heard Gym in the game. Okay. Oh nein. Wer tut so etwas? Kaffee? So, wo waren wir denn jetzt noch nicht? Can't believe that's that simple. Da waren wir schon. Da ist der Ausgang. Raus wollen wir noch nicht. Infinite Hole, da wollte ich hin. Oder gehen wir zum Eimer? Ich habe gerade den Eimer gesehen und ein Buch. Infinite Jest. Okay. Wir gehen zum Loch. Da wollten wir ja ursprünglich auch hin. Concrete Contemplations. The Holy Moly. Opening. Rim. Surrounding Area. Depth Infinite. Wirklich? Ach halt, ich bin an eins vorbeigegangen schon. Time Depth. Aha. Time Deeper. Okay. Derzeit fällt man tiefer. Das hätte ich nie gedacht. Hole Entrance. Infinity. Infinite Hole Chart. Hole. More Hole. Infinity. Falling. Educational Use Only. Death Space. Keine Ahnung. Science. More. More gefällt mir am besten. It just keeps going. Okay. Na dann.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right.
Ja.
Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Infinite Hole. Und wie wir ja alle wissen, springen wir sehr gerne von hohen Orten runter. Ne? War das beim letzten Stream oder beim vorletzten? Ich weiß es gerade nicht mehr, wo wir ständig die Treppe runtergesprungen sind, um zu sterben. Ah, diese Verlockung. Und es ist unendlich? Das heißt, irgendwann lädt einfach das Spiel neu, ja? Na dann.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top and we can continue onward.
Nein. Aber das Loch da oben wird tatsächlich kleiner.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Warum?
Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Warum? Ich will fallen. Ja.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
Echt?
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Was?
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Und wenn ich das nicht mache? Was ist, wenn ich das nicht mache? Springen kann ich natürlich auch nicht. Schade. Ich habe ein bisschen Kreislauf. Vor allem, pfui, so viele Kippenstummel hier. Was ist, wenn ich es nicht drücke? Passiert dann irgendwas? Okay.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Aber...
Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you.
Ja.
The problem is that you like holes too much. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of...
das war kürzer.
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Wird das Loch jetzt jedes Mal kürzer, wenn ich reinspringe?
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
Aber ich nicht! Arschbombe!
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Da, jetzt will er ja selber, dass ich wieder reinspringe.
Oh, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Okay. G?
Is the, teleport button not working?
Nein.
You sure?
Ja.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
Hört man das?
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this.
Ja.
I'm out. Goodbye,
Was?
Stanley.
Was?
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else.
Aber...
Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have Have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Aber... Hallo? Ich und mein Loch. Wir leben noch. Musik? Was ist das für Musik? Was? Hallo? Dieses Loch wird zu einem Fahrstuhl. F, um die Perspektive zu ändern. Oh! Wow. Boah. Dieses Feature. Ja, Mann. Gib mir alle Perspektiven, die es gibt und das mehrmals. Ändere deine Wahrnehmung. Ja. Ist ganz okay, ne, Stanley? Hat irgendwie was. Ändere deine Realität. Nein, erst mal die Wahrnehmung. Und dann die Realität. Wow. Oh, Kaffeenachschub, danke. Wow. Was? Ah. Was? Ändere dich selbst? Moment. Okay. Ich ändere alles. Oh. Beine.
Stanley?
Ja? Oh, was? Ich war noch nicht fertig.
It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley. Because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole. And I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Tüdelü. Aber... Ja. Gleich geht's wieder los. Geht's gleich wieder los? Nein, schade. Mach es gut, Loch. Müssen wir jetzt wieder bis dahin fahren? Oh nein, okay, wir sind hier. Was steht uns denn jetzt noch?
Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Der Button des Tests Gym. Kann ich den wieder drücken? Oder ist der jetzt immer weg? Kann ich eigentlich die Knöpfe drücken? Mal so ganz blöd gefragt. Nee, ja, die sind zu weit oben. Kein Knopf. Meh. Gut. Uns fehlt noch der Bucket of Reassurance. Reassurance Bucket. So. Was ist Reassurance auf Deutsch eigentlich?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it, Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
Oh.
You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Eimer!
Can you
Gruselig?
feel it?
Ja.
The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Ja.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the
Danke.
bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Darf ich den Eimer behalten? Ich meine, beautiful bucket, just pick it up. Und er ist wirklich, er ist wunderschön. Vor allem dieser Holzgriff.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Aber wirklich. Ich meine, dieser Eimer ist schon... Uiuiui. Please no screenshots. Aber hier waren wir ja schon. Kann ich mich noch
Come
umentscheiden?
now,
Nein.
you've already made your choice. It's true
Ja.
that you chose badly, but we all
Ja.
have to move on from our mistakes.
Ja. Das Loch. Eimer, habe ich dir schon das unendliche Loch gezeigt? Ich fühle mich so viel wohler in diesem Loch, wenn du dabei bist. Bestimmt. Ich darf nicht mehr in das Loch. Das klingt falsch, aber es ist richtig. That's new. Oh, warte mal, da oben waren wir noch nicht, ne? Exit. Collectibles haben wir auch schon geholt. Was haben wir hier? New Features, New Content, New Ideas. Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. The new updated Ray traced more of the same, but in a good way. Sequel to the Stanley Parable wahrscheinlich. Neuer Teppich! Das ist im Spiel. Kann ich den Knopf drücken? Nein. The baby is all grown up. Ja. Red is the new orange. Please no screenshots. A whole new office. Ja, neuer Teppich macht gleich ein neues Büro, das stimmt. Investor Showcase, the magazine. Den Eimer habe ich. Wie kam ich denn da hoch? Hier. Ach ja, Eimer, guck mal, der Sprungkreis, aber wir können nicht mehr springen. Zum Achievement darf ich auch nicht mehr. Einstellungen Weltmeister. Aber that's new. Eimer, das ist neu. Du kennst nicht mal das alte, aber... Ach nein, halt, hier ist Epilog, ne? Ja, okay, hier kamen wir her. Epilog. Einstellungen Weltmeister. Mal gucken, was das ist. Muss ich vielleicht in den Spieleinstellungen rumspielen? Kann ich das so im Zweifel? Einstellungen? Aber was macht man da? Ich mag die Einstellungen so eigentlich. Ich habe Angst, dass ich mir das jetzt verhaue. Was ist, wenn ich alles auf Max stelle? Nee, die 2 stand schon immer so schief, ne? Und wenn ich alles auf Minimum stelle? Wow. Oh, ist die Maus langsam. Warte mal, das war auf 72, ne? Das war schon ganz okay so. Und das war beides auf 5. Noch mehr Einstellungen? Darstellung. Untertitel Hintergrundtransparenz. Ganz dunkel oder gar nicht? Ne, so ein bisschen darf da ja eigentlich ruhig sein. Aktiviert übersetzte Label zusätzlich zu den Texten im Spiel. Oh Gott. Aber das brauchen wir, glaube ich, nicht. Ich brauche das zumindest nicht. Farblabel. Inhaltswarnungen. Aktiviert Warnungen und Überspringmöglichkeiten zu Spielinhalten, die von Suizid, Trauma oder psychischen Problemen handeln. Also das ganze Spiel, ja? Hier können wir auch noch ändern. Aber ich will das ja eigentlich so laut lassen. Hä? Video. Wenn wir eine Auflösung rumspielen, aber warum sollte ich das tun? Verdammt, wo ist meine Auflösung? Da. Hier können wir noch rumspielen. Halt, die 8 bitte. Niedrige Qualität. Wer will denn sowas? Steuerung. Einfache Steuerung. Springen, aber es geht ja nicht. Aber... Jetzt war ich in den Einstellungen und krieg trotzdem nichts. Was ist Einstellungen, Weltmeister? Verdammte Axt. Haben wir jetzt alles gesehen? Ich guck noch mal auf den Plan. Springkreis, diese Karte. Free Achievement geht nicht. Der Gym-Button. Merge. Settings, World Champion. Stanley Parable Bucket. Office Decoration, Epilog, Collectible, Infinite Hole. Dann bleibt uns wohl nur noch E wie Exit. Hier lang. Eimerchen, dann gehen wir wohl. Ich kann dir nichts Neues mehr zeigen. Ich habe mir schon alles angeguckt. Ich hätte dich zuerst holen sollen. Da hätten wir alles zusammen angucken können.
Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Ja. Warum steht da übrigens eine Tasche? Finde ich merkwürdig. Wem gehört die? New Mac. Kann ich hier runterschubsen? Nein, schade. No Screenshots.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect.
Unbedingt.
With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh ja. Oh ja. Ohne Tür. Oh, ich will mir das erstmal angucken. Ein Flur. In Rot. Das hätte es früher nicht gegeben. Und da kommt die Tür wieder, wa? Das ist ein bisschen wie Silent Hills PT. Gleich geht die Tür auf und wir gehen den Flur wieder lang. Genau so habe ich mir das gedacht. Ist das der gleiche Flur? Ich weiß es nicht. Das Spiel beginnt.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Oh ja, und wie er das war.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Voller Ballons! Gehen neue Türen auf? Nein.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Noch mehr Ballons. Überall Ballons. Das ist neu. Oh. Oh.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Ja. Lag das da schon immer? Knowing your city. Da geht's mir auch gleich viel besser mit dem... Kein New Content mehr? Meh.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Wir machen erstmal wieder, was er sagt, wa? Jetzt haben wir ja Eimer.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Hat sich hier irgendwas geändert? Sieht nicht so aus. Der Broom Closet, Eimer!
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it?
Yeah.
The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
Nein!
I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
Mein
I
Eimer!
know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend.
Oh ja.
You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Du. Besenkammer, du.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There.
Oh.
Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Aber echt mal, da steht Property of Stanley.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate.
Ja?
You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Ja. Das ist Eimerception. Das ist ein Eimer auf einem Eimer.
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
And your bucket. Ja, das ist mein Bucket. Ich mag, wie er das Wort Bucket sagt. Ah, schön, dass wir wieder an die Besenkammer konnten. Zu. Auf. Wieder rein. Okay, nein. Gut, hätte ja sein können. Dann geht's weiter.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
And the bucket. Er musste alles nochmal neu einsprechen wegen dem Eimer. Okay. Badezimmer. Oh, gib mich.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these. Only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Ja. Das, werde ich. Kann ich hier rein? Kann ich Fahrstuhl fahren? Nein. Ist hier irgendwas? Ne, hier war ja noch nie was Spannendes.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Ich bin gerade von mir selbst überrascht, dass ich mir den Kackcode gemerkt habe. Okay, so, Fahrstuhl fahren. Oh nein, ich war böse. Ich wollte erstmal nur machen, was der Sprecher sagt. Na egal. Beim nächsten Durchgang.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
War das da schon immer? Ich glaube schon.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Ja. Guck mal, Eimer. Das ist ein Knopf. Den kann man drücken. Und dann wird's hell.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Und irgendwo hier war doch noch ein Knopf. Genau, hier. Das ist noch ein Knopf. Damit macht man die Monitore an. Eimer, pass auf.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Alles ist gut. Warum sollte irgendwas auch nicht gut sein? Fahrstuhl. Das war noch ein Knopf.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No!
Oh ja.
He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Ja, nicht mal dem Sprecher. Nur dem Eimer kann ich vertrauen.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
Ja.
They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Eimer und ich. Unzertrennlich. Das sind Eimer und ich.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Also machen wir es aus.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Ja, war's denn das?
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
Warum?
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support.
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
No!
Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket. Go to any lengths not to part with the
Tu
bucket.
das nicht!
No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Wie gemein, ich darf nicht gehen. Oh! Figurine Finders Committee. Meeting today in the meeting room. Na, eine Figur habe ich ja schon. Und ich würde hier erstmal Schluss machen. Heute eher nur ein kurzer Stream, aber mir fällt gerade auf, es ist schon 3:30 und außer Frühstück gab es heute noch nichts. So langsam kommt der Hunger. Vielleicht mache ich später nochmal an, vielleicht auch nicht. Ich kann es noch nicht versprechen. Wenn ja, dann werde ich auf Twitter Bescheid geben. Ansonsten bedanke ich mich fürs Zuschauen bis hierher und bis zum nächsten Mal. Wenn wir, die Fortsetzung ist jetzt pausiert, wenn wir The Stanley Parable weiterspielen. Also, bis dahin. Ciao.